Good day, my name is Kganya Radebe, and today I'll be doing a PowerPoint presentation on my 80 hours of experiential learning. So, firstly, what is experiential learning? Experiential learning refers to education or learning that is more practical and is about students applying what they learned inside the classroom in the outside world. So it is about learning that goes beyond traditional learning. It's not just theory, it's practical, and it's all about learners getting more practical, if I may say. Now, overview of host organization. The organization that I did my 80 hours at is called STEAM Festival. It is an organization that specializes in doing live educational revision game shows for students. The show specializes in school subjects such as science, technology, arts, and mathematics. The aim is to help children or students revise school work using art forms such as music, acting, and dancing. And students actually get to compete with each other using these various art forms in an educational manner. So, for example, students can actually come up with songs that are based on the curriculum that they are learning. So, for example, a song about algebra, and they can compete with another school that has come up with a different song, perhaps in the same subject, and they can compete, and the audience gets to decide who actually came up with the most creative song and whether they're following the curriculum correctly. Now, I came across this organization at a career day at Boston campus where they asked students to come and volunteer. And I gave them my phone number and email, and they contacted me, and I went for an interview, and they took me in for shadowing as they were impressed with me during the interview. And so a reason why I chose this organization is I was interested in the fact that they were doing a live show, which is something that I see on television, and I felt like it was very important to me as someone who's doing a major in television to get exposure to such things. And it's actually taught me quite a lot about how shows are run, which I believe can actually be helpful in my television career. Now, my experience was quite good and a learning experience. I had a taste of the workplace and realized that it was different from school and the group works that I've done during film projects. And I had to learn how to communicate in general, whether it had to be asking questions or asking my superiors for clarity. And I also had to come across different types of people and individuals with different types of personalities and different ways of thinking. And I needed to put my feelings aside and get work done despite me having disagreements with them or me not liking certain things that certain individuals did. What I loved is that I had the opportunity to express myself creatively, as I was given a task of writing creative scripts for the talents to actually come and do. So that was actually quite a task that I quite enjoyed, and a challenge. And how I overcame it by applying a topic that I learned in class was I had the challenge of not understanding a task whereby I was supposed to create a portfolio template for the talents. So the talents are basically the people who are performing in between different categories of the game show. And so I had to wrestle myself. I didn't know whether the portfolios had to be more on the creative side or they had to be more on the professional side. But I applied interpersonal communication, which I learned in class. Interpersonal communication is when you communicate concepts, thoughts, and emotions with other people. And I decided to apply that and actually ask my superiors how they actually want this to be done. And they told me that they wanted the portfolio to be more professional. And so I was able to efficiently do that task, all because I applied something that I learned in class. Now, a workplace scenario and how I used my strength. During the live game shows, a lot of coordination is required. So I used the strength that I developed being a director in student films, which is coordination. So I had to work together with my colleagues to coordinate the timing. I needed to coordinate when the talents needed to perform and when the children needed to be on stage when it was their turn to actually compete. Now, point of reflection from the feedback. I'll start with the positive. A positive point that I received was that I am a good listener and I'm good at taking instructions. So going forward, I will actually try my best to improve my listening skills from what they are right now, and I will try to carry out instructions as precisely as I can. And in terms of a negative point that I received is that I'm not confident when it comes to voicing myself and taking initiatives at things that I'm good at. So from now on, I will try and challenge myself to take initiative at doing things that I'm actually good at and actually voicing myself and voicing my opinions, especially when it comes to something that I am knowledgeable in. Now, the reflection of the course content. This course has taught me how to conduct myself in a professional manner. I've also learned that communication is of utmost importance in the workplace, as I mentioned earlier, and there are different types of communication and that I should approach everyone with the utmost respect. And I've also learned about writing a CV and how to format it, which has been helpful as I've been applying lately to different jobs, and knowing how to format a CV has been helpful. I've also learned how to write a cover letter as well as a report. What I wish I could have learned, the content on a more practical level. For example, doing mock interviews would have helped me to actually understand what it is like to be interviewed and given me more confidence in actual interviews, or even mock disciplinary hearings, so that I get a more practical understanding of how they go. So in conclusion, I've learned so much from this module about professionalism, and it has helped me in my 80-hour experience. And I've learned that confidence is actually going to assist me in the workplace, and the value that I've gotten from this experiences was learning how to communicate and learning about confidence. And I also had the wonderful experience of working with such a hardworking and wonderful team. I would like to thank you for taking the time to listen to my presentation. Thank you. May you enjoy the rest of your day.